Okay. While I remove Philip, we can start.
Sure, sounds like a plan.
Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen and if I'm audible enough.
Yep, I see you.
Okay. So I'll start the session, and just I want to thank you, all of you, for joining us for today's webinar session. We really appreciate all of you for allocating time. And I know we have attendees from different countries. We really appreciate you. And I'll start the session. So my name is Leon Ocholi. I am based out of Nairobi, Kenya. So I serve at Brightpoint as the regional business development consultant. So today's webinar is in partnership with Microsoft. And the theme of today's webinar is all about empowering nonprofits with Microsoft Cloud solutions powered by artificial intelligence. So I'm very passionate when it comes to the nonprofit sector. Sole reason is for the lives and the communities they change and they impact for the better. And I'll just set the tone for today's meeting, for today's webinar. So the session will last roughly 2 hours. This will be very insightful. It will be very exciting. And we'll just start with an overview introduction of an overview introduction of the presentation team and the speakers. Then we'll move into solution demonstration, whereby we'll take you through the main course of today. That's Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofits. Kindly note, all the microphones are muted. If you have any questions, please type them on the event chat box. Then we will respond. And if we don't respond, kindly bear with us. We will actually follow up after the webinar. We'll actually be sending out thank you notes, and feel free to interact and engage with us. Then the session is also recorded. So if you need to send this through to your team members, please reach out to me. Then I'll share with you the recorded link. Then you can have this passed through your team members. Then the agenda for today is pretty much simple, where we'll have a session which Wairimo will lead on the technology and social impact. So Wairimo is she's the senior program manager from Microsoft, and she looks after the nonprofit sector. So she'll also be doing an introduction. So she'll actually paint for us the vision and mission Microsoft has for the nonprofit sector. Then, of course, we'll have an overview presentation, corporate overview of Brightpoint Infotech. So Brightpoint Infotech, we are a Microsoft partner, and we have been working closely with Microsoft over the years, basically helping companies run better and simple. Then, of course, the main course of the day, we'll also have a demo session, which will be headed by Philip. Philip is our business solutions manager here at Brightpoint Infotech. So he will take us through the solution demonstration. So before I invite the speakers for today, so I just want to paint for you the picture of what we expect today. So we all know before nonprofits do good, they're also faced with a number of challenges. So basically, research has it that most nonprofit organizations face technological challenges when it comes to day-to-day running of their business operations. So we find that nonprofits, therefore, need to innovate and streamline their business processes to ensure that they are able to track their information And this eventually helps them abide by the stringent regulatory and operation requirements when it comes to fundraising and engagement. So without further ado, I will invite Wairimo Gashara just to take us through Microsoft's vision and mission when it comes to the nonprofit sector, because there are a lot of exciting things they're doing within this sector. And at the end of the day, they are doing this for the customers. So these are some of the benefits we as customers need to fully embrace, and we also need to fully utilize so that we are able to streamline our business processes, and that eventually sets us apart from the rest. So Wairimo, kindly.
Thank you, Leon. And hello, everybody. Welcome to this session, day one, where we'll be covering elements around the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit and some demonstrations by Philippine team on the fundraising and engagement module. So brief introduction, the Microsoft Tech for Social Impact is an organization that sits within Microsoft Philanthropies, and we focus solely on nonprofit organizations, UN agencies, and intergovernmental organizations that want to use our technology for their mission, both on a program perspective as well as internal operations. Leon, if you could assist me with the slides, you could move to the next slide so that we can get started.
Perfect.
You can continue, please. There we go. So I wanted to first paint a picture of what we are seeing within the nonprofit space. We do collaborate quite widely in this area and do research of us for ourselves as well to see what are the trends. And three key things stand out that will probably really resonate with you. The first thing is that there's been significant changes in donations and giving globally. We're finding that the volume of giving has actually gone down 10% year on year, and the value of recurring donors has gone up on the other side. We're also noticing that 57% of nonprofit organizations or nonprofit fundraisers are very concerned about how they're going to find new donors. And so this reduction or this crunch we're also seeing is an aspect of some of the inflationary pressure and the geopolitics that's happening globally. And so we find as well there's a lot of affiliate layoffs. We've seen a lot of organizations that are shutting down their global operations as well. So this is a new issue in terms of we need to even more do more with less, more than even before, as well as a staffing crisis. Being able to attract the right talent, being able to keep the right talent as well within the organization. And we see that 33% or more of nonprofits report that at least 20% of job vacancies go unfilled. And this is double for fundraising roles specifically. And so with this context, we found that we need to be able to have tools, technology tools that can be able to support your scalability, while at the same time being cost effective in a way that it is affordable for your organization to be able to continue keeping some of these technology tools into the future. Next slide, Leon. And so we realize that companies that can do more should do more. So this is the face of our CEO, Satya Nadella, his words. We are grounded on making sure that our technology benefits everyone on the planet. And so we want to make sure no community or no society gets left behind, hence the creation of the technology for social impact. Can continue, please. And speaking to that mission, I think this is testament to the work that we are doing here in the fiscal year 2023. We gave away actually 3.8 billion in grants as discounted software. This could be some of the software that you're currently using at your organization, some of the free software around Office 365, all the way to discounted and even free software around the ERP, CRM, and even our cloud services. We also donated about 242 million through our Microsoft employee giving. And this is actually a very interesting area because your organization can also take advantage of this. If you were to approach us to design a certain employee volunteering or mentoring program that Microsoft employees can actually spend time at your organization, and Microsoft would be able to match the value of that time or match the value of the money donated to your organization. So also a very interesting program to think about from a fundraising perspective. And then lastly, 325,000 nonprofits have been supported. And my mission, my personal mission, is to make sure that we have even more representation from Africa and the Middle East as well, taking advantage of these solutions. Now we can go to the next slide, which is the exciting part and why we're here. So given that we realize the needs of the nonprofit space, Microsoft took some of their classical solutions that you might know, such as customer relationship management and enterprise resource planning tools that we call Dynamics. And then we added a flavor by customizing them to be able to suit a nonprofit organization and reduce your time for development. Because we realized that it is not only the cost of the licensing that can be an impediment, but also the development and customization process for these tools. And so we took one step to be able to do these customizations and then partner with organizations like Brightpoint to further customize this to fit exactly what you would require, and also for partners like Brightpoint to be able to develop on top of our platforms and offer additional services. So what you're looking at right now is the AI for nonprofits. These are a suite of products that fall under these 4 categories. On the left-hand side is what we're going to focus on today. And then tomorrow, day 2, we're going to focus on the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, which is fundraising and marketing and communication, here we concentrate on creating donor journeys, donor 360 views, and personalizing the donor conversations that we have. And all this is powered by AI tools, which Philip is going to show you. We've got some cool stuff, such as being able to calculate what is the propensity of a donor being able to give to us, or the likelihood to donate, given certain data points within your Dynamics environment, within interaction on email, and any other data source that you allow the tool to be able to use. And so then the AI algorithm at the back end is able to calculate or give you a view of how likely really are you to get this particular donation. And you can imagine this can be instrumental in stewardship as well as in prospecting and in forecasting how you're going to be able to deliver against budget. Marketing and communications as well, in terms of defining market segments using natural language query. So this is pretty cool. So in the past, we would simply have to spend quite a lot of time understanding the nonprofit, understanding our donors and our stakeholders, and trying to be able to reach out to them one at a time or quasi in bulk, but not very good at it. So we want to bring the same capability that you'd find, say, in an e-commerce organization that's able to really target and segment customers with the right messaging, and make sure that now for nonprofits, you're able to segment your donors depending on the classifications and the characteristics that the machine also learns about this donor, in order to target them appropriately with the right message at the right time. And lastly, being able to tell your story, because by how you tell your story is how you can be able to not only showcase the work that you're doing, but also keep the key individuals and stakeholders that you want to relate with into the future. And all this is done on the backdrop of cybersecurity. So security is at the core of these systems. What we actually find that's interesting is that nonprofit organizations are the 3rd most attacked organizations on a cybersecurity. The first being technology companies like ourselves, second being governments, and then 3rd, nonprofit organizations. And the reason this is happening is because a lot of the actors in this space, or the malicious actors in this space, do realize that nonprofit organizations have not invested adequately in enterprise grade solutions that have got the necessary security level controls, and some of them don't have the necessary skill to be able to monitor the same. And so it becomes a soft target, and it can become very painful given the fact that your organizations are running mission critical work with data about vulnerable people in our society. And so very important on a security and a privacy perspective. I will look at the right-hand side tomorrow, so join us, coming soon. I will discuss what the program design and delivery and the finance and operations is all about. Next slide, please. And so at the core of everything that we do is to make sure that you understand that we are a responsible service provider for cloud services. That means we stand by certain fundamentals. Number one, your data is your data. Right? We do not own your data, and we do not access or review your data. Your data remains yours, and you have all controls and rights. All we do is support you in terms of processing this data and getting the necessary insights that you can apply. Number two, your data is not used for doing any fine-tuning of our AI models. So we do not use any of your data to be able to create these AI algorithms that I talked about. All we do is we look at the characteristics or the behavior of information flow and then be able to give you this service of, for example, the likelihood to donate, and not necessarily to fine-tune the data model on the back end itself. And then third, your data is protected by the most comprehensive enterprise compliance and security tools. And here, if you'd like, feel free to drop it in the feedback comment. I'd love to speak to you on a one-on-one basis if you'd like to look at the detail of exactly what compliance certifications that we put or we comply to, all the way from FedRAMP, all the way to GDPR, to the Data Protection Act in Kenya, and also in South Africa and Nigeria. So I'm happy to be able to showcase to you the extent that will fulfill these requirements. Next slide, please. And so with that, without further ado, this is just a quick snapshot of some of the offers that are available to you. Some are free, some are discounted by up to 70%. And you will have these slides to look at them a little bit deeper. But I think the most important thing is first to identify your need, and then we can identify what is the right commercial structure for you. Next slide, please. Lastly, building your capacity. This is absolutely important. We have partnered with both NetHope and TechSoup. So we do offer technical literacy learning tracks and nonprofit digital skills center at no cost, as well as virtual training days that are also at no cost. These are virtual webinars that we hold almost on a daily basis on a variety of topics. You don't have to be a techie. They're actually different tracks depending on your business level or your role level within your organization. So without further ado, welcome, and I look forward to interacting with you in the next couple of hours. Back to you, Leon.
Okay. Thank you, Irimo. Thank you for sharing Microsoft's vision for the nonprofit sector. And clearly, it's up to us within the ecosystem to take advantage and fully utilize Microsoft products, because at the end of the day, this will differentiate us, and actually this will also streamline our business operations. Another thing that has really come out clear is Microsoft is not only selling, but they are also well aligned and driven by the nonprofit cause. So that's a plus. So where do we come in as Brightpoint Infotech? So for Microsoft to actually implement this vision, they do it through partners. And we brag as we are a Microsoft Gold partner. And for you to attain gold status, it also comes with experience, and it also comes with certifications. So allow me to take you through Brightpoint Infotech, briefly what we do before we move in to the main course of the day, which Philip will also take us through that. So Brightpoint Infotech is a company, it's a technology company headquartered out of the USA. and we have been in operations for the last 10 years. So we have built experience around Microsoft product, and we fully pride ourselves as a Microsoft house. So our bread and butter is actually Microsoft solutions and Microsoft applications. So we are very focused and we are very targeted. So the next slide is we are very customer centric, and at the end of the day, the forefront of our thinking and preparations, it actually revolves around the customer. As industry expertise, we come here to help you grow and streamline your operations. So at the end of the day, you're able to attain that efficiency. So of course, our key differentiator, industry awareness. So we have been having this journey with Microsoft transforming the nonprofit sector and actually helping the sector run better. What Wairimu has also mentioned in terms of creating awareness of some of the products that can really differentiate you in the market. Then, of course, we have the right people to also help implement these solutions. So like I said, we have been doing it for the last 10 years, and we have built a team around Microsoft products. So these teams are actually certified with the latest Microsoft technology. So at the end of the day, the moment we walk into your organization, you actually have the right people for the job. Then we are very targeted. So there are certain industries we don't touch because we don't have the experience. So over the years, this has actually set us apart because all our customer success stories and case studies have actually been built from the industries that we have built expertise, and we have happy customers, and we are also supporting these customers at the end of the day. Then, of course, we are equipped with the right industry-leading solutions, what Wairimu has also highlighted. Then, basically, the next slide talks about our value proposition for nonprofits. So, for the last 15 years, we have attained our partnership with Microsoft. We have proven implementation methodology, and we have built solutions around the nonprofit sector. We believe with proper technology platforms, nonprofit organizations could be more effective and promote and manage each campaign and keep their efforts at the forefront when it comes to today's societies. So that's what we do, and this is the vision that we position when it comes to the nonprofit sector. Then basically Dynamics 365 for nonprofits is all about automation. We keep it very simple so that when it comes to so that our users actually, the interaction with the system is actually very friendly. So it's all about keeping it very simple, automating your business processes, and also improving your current processes. So we act as that bridge for moving you from point A to point B so that you are able to consume the latest Microsoft technologies, all the way from fundraising and engagement, which will also be showcased, from marketing journeys, things to do with volunteer management, things to do with volunteer engagement, and also product impact. So we basically make the solution speak your industry language. Then, like I said, we are a global institution with different offices spread across the globe. We are headquartered out of the US, but we also have offices in the UAE, in Dubai. We are also in Canada. We also have an office in India, and we also have an office here in Nairobi. The good thing for our African customers, we have customers spread across the continent. We have customers in Uganda, we have customers in Zambia, Botswana. Like I said, we have the right team and we have the resources to deploy the solution at any region, so we are not limited. Then number two, what does this tell you? It tells you with our different satellite offices, and one of the biggest thing when it comes to deploying solutions, or what we call business management solution, is the after-sales support. So with different offices, you actually get When you call today Leon or Philip and the office is closed here in Nairobi, you always have another contact. Maybe in India, you have another contact. In the US, you have another contact in Canada. So it's actually business on the go. So we have built our experience when it comes to nonprofit, and basically this slide basically shows you some of our customers spread across the region. We have guys like Nutrition International. We have companies like Riado, which is one of the biggest nonprofits in Somalia. We are currently doing implementations in Sudan. We are working closely with nonprofits in South Sudan. And we are looking forward to actually engaging you, to showcasing you some of the different solutions and how we can partner together when it comes to this technological journey. Then at the end of the session, if you have any questions that you'll want, maybe you will want a demo or one-on-one demo, please feel free to reach out. We will also be sending out thank you notes. Feel free to engage with us. Then we can always push and have this and push this discussion, further our discussion, and have a one-on-one discussion just to understand your business requirements and also to understand your vision when it comes to matters technology. So at this point, I want to welcome my colleague. He's called Philip. He will do an introduction. He is a technical solutions manager. He's been doing it for the last 10 years. So he will take us through the solution demo, and please feel free to ask any questions in the chat and we'll gladly take all the questions. So Philip, you're ready.
Thank you, Leon, and we move for that introduction. I'll just give a quick introduction of myself. My name is Philip Ngige. I've been working with Brightpoint for the last 8 years. From my background, I have been a solution architect for the last 10 years, working with different organizations in the non-profit world, higher education, manufacturing. So I've got a rough idea. I've got a very good idea of the operations that go on for non-operations. I am a certified accountant. So the accountants in the house, feel free to ask any questions. We have our other solution architect on in the call. His name is Girish, and Warimo is here as well. So any questions you might have regarding this presentation, you can just drop them on the chat, and then we will be able to answer them on the chat, as well as request you to have a one-on-one with us where we can display the solutions we have in detail. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. And you can let me know when you see my screen.
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Thank you. So in the course of the afternoon, we'll be looking at different areas. We will start looking at with the Microsoft Power BI, that is the Program Impact Dashboard, and then we will have a review of what it does and what you expect of it. And then we will look at other different areas that Warimo discussed, for example, in communications, where we will look at volunteer engagement and management. We will look at communications regarding campaigns and marketing. And then we will look at fundraising and engagement. And then later on, probably we can take a look at our AI solutions, and as well as the other fancy and beautiful things that Microsoft have come up with for this. So based on the explanation that Warimo and Leon gave, what is Microsoft Cloud for non-profit? What Microsoft have done is that they are empowering and they are introducing these scalable and transformative solutions that will impact your NGO or your NPO. And the main problems that we saw on Warimo's slide is what are the different challenges that non-profit organizations have. One, do we know our donors and supporters? Two, are we able to deliver effective programming? And number three, how do we accelerate the outcomes or the outputs that we set out to do from our donors? On my screen right now, I have a program dashboard, a program impact dashboard. What this does, it gives you a flavor of how your NPO is doing in terms of the output and in terms of the impact it has, and in terms of the funding they use. How much have you collected, and how much have you spent? So the nonprofit staff can streamline the preparation of external reports on this program impact dashboard. You can compare metrics across all the programs, and then you can track performance over time. You get slicers for tracking these performances over time, for example, for a quarter or a year or a month. And then you can track the progress to key program objectives and the results. Because you can have your programs here, you can have your objectives, you can have your start and end dates, the budgets, and the participants served. And then you can break down the silos between fundraising and program priorities. So on this program impact data dashboard, we have the impact delivered, and then we can have even the summaries. So for example, here I have the total revenue raised, and then you can slice down to the revenue raised by objective. We can see we have objectives such as education, global objectives, economic opportunities, global health, and so on. And you have your slices, your graphs there. And then you can have the programs that have been delivered by our NPO. You can have the total programs by participants served per program. And then we can have the program summary. So this program impact dashboard, it is a template that the NPOs have access to when they subscribe to these non-profit solutions offered by Microsoft. So for example, now here we have the program summary. We have the start date and the end date. You can filter with all these. You can filter by the status of the project, and then now with this you'll get the top 5 programs by budget, the programs by the donors, and by participants as well. And then one other activity that we used to do that I've seen most NPOs do is the monitoring and evaluation. How impactful are our solutions to the society, and are we meeting the targets we have raised to the donors? So here again, you are able to slice your data based on all these activities. Based on the program, you can base it on the time periods, and all these other parameters. And finally, we have the impact. For example, you can see here we have the maternal vaccination program. Now, this is probably a program that has been given funding. So you're able to see the results based on the total revenue raised, the budget, how we are doing in terms of the budget versus actual, and so on. So this dashboard functionality, it is a template that will be available with the Microsoft non-profit solutions. After this, I'd like to show you the communication part. And by communication here, I mean, I'd like us to see the volunteers. So let me know if you can still see my screen. I have a screen called volunteer management. So here, this Microsoft solutions for fundraising, it comes with different sub apps for volunteer management. You get the volunteer engagement, volunteer management, and a template for the onboarding of new volunteers. For example, this is the volunteer management app. And here we have things like dashboards. The dashboards will be able to tell us more the engagements that are up. It will be able to tell us the participation. It will be able to tell us it will be able to tell us the engagements that are going on and the description of those that are going on, and then we'll be able to drill down to the activities. What we are currently doing in terms of reaching out to partners, reaching out to donors, reaching out to sponsors, and then you'll be able to track your volunteers. So what I've seen in the past is that for volunteers, we have an onboarding platform where you'll be able to create a platform where a volunteer will be able to log in and then see all the opportunities that are available and then apply to be onboarded onto one of them. And then you will have all the credentials. You will have all the requirements. For example, if you want a volunteer who's studied something like social impact, they'll be able to enter all these details, and then you'll be able to onboard them based on this platform. And then you can also from the volunteership, you can create groups and host different volunteers in the same group. For example, you want a group for, let's say, that have medical knowledge. You'll be able to create a group, and you'll be able to communicate with all these volunteers in these groups. Now, the beauty of having this platform here is that you'll have a dashboard, and you'll have a database that will have all these volunteers, such that in future, if you have any opportunities that will be available to employ new employees who have experience in handling activities that are handled by your NPO, you will have that database there, and you'll have their credentials, you'll have their qualifications, and that eases down the recruitment of your staff. Other than that, now here you can have your onboarding, and you will not have to interfere with your current HR solutions. Here you are clearly demarcating your onboarding of new employees and the onboarding of new volunteers, such that you're able to keep your applications separate. So, for example, here we can see all our active pending participations. We have the contact details. If you want to contact the volunteers, if you want to reach out to anyone, you'll have all their details here. I hope there are no more. There are no questions, and if there are any, Girish, Werimo, will you help me to answer if there are any?
Sure. So far on the chat, I've only seen someone has typed something, so I will put a response as we go on.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, in terms of volunteers, volunteership, there's also another tool that I've seen being used by Microsoft to engage the public. There is a platform called Microsoft Power Pages, where we've seen folks go out there. They have created a Power Page where anyone wanting to volunteer or to become a donor can log into that platform and then enter their details, and then now we can translate that into creating an integration with this platform. So the opportunities and the functionalities that Microsoft is enabling us to track all this is quite awesome. After that, I'm going to show you stuff to do with communication, campaigns, and marketing. And I'm going to change my screen here. And let me know if you can see my marketing screen. So the marketing bit is more of a CRM. It's just like a CRM where you'll be able to track all the communications and constituent market journeys that you have. And with this platform here, you'll be able to organize and personalize marketing and communication to the donors and volunteers. Number two, you'll be able to leverage pre-built, customizable marketing segments, constituent journeys, and email templates. And then you'll be able to automate your emails. What do you mean by automating your emails? Once you get a sponsorship or a gift, you'll be able to automate your thank yous. You'll be able to welcome new donors and volunteers. You can create a batch job or a queue where anything that hits there is automated. For example, if you have a new volunteer who's logged in from that Power Page that I was saying, once they complete all that, you can automate the thank you and say thank you for coming on board and so on and so forth. If you have a new gift and you process the payments from, let's say, the bank in Kenya here, we can integrate with the banking solutions or even M-Pesa. After processing that gift, we can automate the ownership by sending either an email or an SMS based on the donor preference. Another thing, once a donor lapses, let's say I have created a donor and we haven't heard from this donor for a long time. We can automate an email or an SMS saying that if we don't hear from this donor every 6 months, we probably want to re-engage them. These are powerful tools that we can be able to use for such activities. And furthermore, our organizations, the NPOs, we exist mainly through sponsorship and donors and gifts. So if, let's say, you want to ask for a recurring gift, all you do is create an email chain and activate this on this platform to request the recurring gift as. So for example, here, I've got all the journeys here. You can create a journey here. And what this will do is to look for an audience. Once you look for the audience, whoever is going to onboard, you can give thanks after they join. And then you can wait for a period of, let's say, a month or a couple of days, and then set up another activity from here. Now, what this will do is that they will feel the donors feel welcome, and you'll be keeping them engaged on these program activities that we'll have. If, let's say, we have activities going on, let's say another drive, you can use this marketing tool to keep your donors and your sponsors and your volunteers engaged. Other than this, you can use this tool to have a segment, your segment of donors, your segment of groups, such that you can segmentize, if I may use the word, your donors. For example, the donors who've joined in 2023, if you want to have an activity for them, you can create a group and then you can reach out to them. If, let's say, you have donors who contribute a certain amount of gifts, you can create a group for them, and then you can communicate to them. If you have a group of the volunteers who worked between a month or two back, and you want to give them a Thanksgiving dinner, you can create a group, and then you'll be able to perform the activities. And then, of course, you can create your contacts here. You can have your database. I'm sure you usually have drives or gala events or dinners or stuff like that. You can go in with your folks on the ground, and then they'll create a database of everyone who's interested. You can save their details, such as their name, their email addresses, the companies they work for, their phone numbers, the constituencies, and so on. And then you'll be able to be reaching out to them. And then, of course, you can create your own campaigns. For example, if you want, let's say, to do a drive for, let's say, a collection of funds for maternity care, you can create a campaign that will track the processes of one. What is the target, and what is the budget, and then you'll be able to track. Are we on track in terms of the collections? Are we on track in terms of budget? And also, are we able to analyze how much we have been able to collect? Okay. Any questions that we want to respond to Irimo?
So far, we're good. There's some questions that were raised on the program impact dashboard, which we have tackled,
Okay.
questions around data entry. But I think we're moving on swiftly.
Awesome. Thanks. So, other than this, there's some other cool stuff, because I want to tackle communication as we go on. So, another pretty cool thing that Microsoft has done of late is to bring in this sales pilot. So you can see my screen. I have my Outlook open here, and here Leon is asking me that.
Philip, I think the screen share is a wrong one.
Yes, I'm showing my Outlook, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So here we have Leon asking me that if we have if I can confirm that receipt of his donation, and here I'm assuming that Leon is one of my donors. So what Microsoft have done is for the folks using the CRM, we're able to create a tool called Sales Pilot. And after we activate that Sales Pilot, we're able to get it as an add-on here. So what does Sales Copilot do? Sales Copilot is able to track your proposals, and it is able to track pretty cool AI stuff that you don't have to break your back doing mundane things. So, for example, this is an email that Leon sent me, and I'm assuming I have tons and tons of emails. So here, what I can do, I can draft a pretty quick email for Leon, or rather, AI will help me do a nifty email. And what will I do? So the Copilot is asking me, what do you want us to respond to Leon with? And I'll just quickly say here, I want to send him a thankful email, a thank you email, and request him to attend the next gala event. So after I click on do, what the AI tool will do is, it will just create for me a draft and tell me and suggest to me, hey, Philip, respond to, as dear Leon, call you Ekombe Ocholi. Thank you for your donation. I have received it, and I really appreciate. I am glad to hear that you're doing well. I hope you're doing well in your new role. I would like to thank you for your generous donation and invite you to attend our next gala event. It would be great to have you join us. So these are some of the pretty nifty and fancy things that Microsoft is doing to assist us in our communication, because we all know that communication is a very important cog in the running of the day-to-day organization, more so to the people who assist us run this organization. Okay. I'm going to change now over to fundraising. And let me know when you can see my screen. So another pretty cool thing is that these apps that we have tons and tons of apps that we are using to change the way NPOs work. So for example, here we can see all the apps that have been able to activate. We look at most of them. And then tomorrow we'll be looking at the finance bit of it. So if you can see my screen, I have the fundraising and engagement app. And what this app does, it gives the fundraising, it gives the fundraiser a holistic view of donors with unified data across fundraising, marketing, and programming. It gives the fundraiser automated donation opportunities, campaign and event management. And then you can manage your donations and transactions with a seamless financial reconciliation and reporting. What this means is once we get a donation from a donor or a sponsor, we will be able to reconcile this and integrate this with our financial solutions. If we're using Business Central or Finance and Operations, all we need to do is create AIs, and then we'll be able to track the campaigns. We'll be able to track any gifts that we have, and we'll be able to even integrate with banking solutions that we have. And finally, with this fundraising and engagement, we will be able to unlock the power of organizations' collective network to make impactful connections with LinkedIn, especially with the sales navigator. Now, this is where we'll be able to approach new donors, we'll be able to approach new recurring gifts and sponsors. So, one thing that we've been doing here is that we have been leveraging Microsoft Power Pages. And what we have here is a sample donation form. Now, this is a low code, no code form where we can create this, and then we enter this into our website. You can have a hyperlink saying donate now, and then we just link this to that link. After we link it to that link, now we will have the donation form where we have the first name, the last name, the address, the country, the gender, and so on. Any details that we want to pick for new donors. And then we can have another page that has the amount that we want to, give. So after we process this, what we can do is have an integration. Once we integrate it, we'll be integrating it with this fundraising and engagement platform. So integrating it means we will collect the donor information, such as name, address, and even if we pick the age, if we pick the age, we'll be able to create segments based on the demographics of, let's say, regions, demographics of ages, such that now these will be able to help us calculate in the functionality that we mentioned earlier, the propensity to give. We'll be able to narrow down how we will be doing our next campaigns, how we'll be doing our next galas, and so on. So collecting the information here will be an important part. And then now we bring in all this information into fundraising and engagement, where now we'll be able to collect all this information such that when we are making decisions, we are making informed decisions. And most importantly, we are not breaking our backs while doing that. These are the types of the solutions Microsoft has in mind when they do this. So when we come to fundraising and engagement here, I'm able to see my data dashboard. Now I'm assuming that I'm probably, let's say, the finance manager or the head of sponsorship or the head of donors or the account manager in your NPO. And let's say I have a meeting. The solution given by Microsoft here, it makes it easier for me. I don't have to run around going to look for information with finance. Where are we here? Where are we here? all I need to do is just revise all this information. It's in a beautiful, colorful dashboard. You're able to see your various dashboards here. For example, this is the development overview. We can see the recent major gifts received. You can get other slicers. For example, active transactions for the last 6 months only. You'll be able to slice all that information, and you'll be able to see all information for the last 6 months. You can see the gifts you received, and you can even expand the chart. And then you can see the programs that are going on. For example, I can see maternal health has this much, Tanzania Health Center has this much, and then General Institute has this much. So if let's say we have a meeting with the folks working on the maternal health program, and you can see your amount here is 625,333, and you want to know what are we doing right or what are we doing wrong. You can further drill down this information. You can say, for example, the maternal health program. Can we take a look at who is giving us, or rather who the donors of this program are? And I can come and drill down by the donor. And let's say I want to see the chart like this. I can see my donors for this program is, I can see Aaron Gonzalez, Adrian King, Abigail, and I can see on top of the tree, it's Bailey Ellison Cook LLC, and they've given this much. So when we are making decisions on the gala events, in the campaigns to do, of course, we'll have to involve Bailey Ellison Cook in, let's say, thank you notes. For example, getting more information such as important dates in their organization, such as birthdays, anniversaries, sending them gift cards such as for Christmas and Thanksgiving and Kenyatta Day, or the Mashujaa Day that's coming up. So making these decisions has been made so easy because we have the tools to collect the information that we need. We don't have to pile information all over just to get who the donors are. You can get this in the click of a button. And as you can see, I didn't have to go through pages and pages to do all this. It was just a click of a button. And before I forget, this solution that Microsoft is giving, this fundraising and engagement solution, it is on the cloud. It is an SaaS solution that is accessible on your computer. I can access it on my phone. I have downloaded the app, and you can access it on your tablet, such that you don't have to continue printing all these reports and creating binders and files and sharing reports with guys. All you need to do is get this solution here. Once you get the solution here, once you go for your meetings, you'll be able to plug in the projector, and everyone will be able to follow all this. And not even just that, anyone who will be given access to the dashboards, the Power BI, will be able to see all these reports on their mobile phones, on their computers, and on their tablets. So we've got all these dashboards, the active transactions, the gifts received. You can expand this again. You can see the gifts that have been given, and we can even drill down further. Let's say we want to see something else, like what? Like the dates. We'll be able to see, we can be able to download, or rather track all the amounts here. Let's see, looking for. And there we go. There we go. So now we go to see the amounts that have been given by this organization, and we can see the booking dates, we can see the donors, we've drilled down, and the amounts that were given, and so on. That's that. When now it comes to the point, we will be doing this communication with Bailey Ellison. We'll be doing this communication with informed decision. And for the old school accountants that we have, you can be able to download these reports, let's say via Excel. We can be able to visualize these views, and we'll be able to make the decisions based on these dashboards. Okay. Let me go back to the homepage. Another thing that's quite wonderful about these applications that Microsoft have given us here is your ability to sync with other Microsoft products. For example, I've logged in here with my Microsoft AD account, and I'll be able to access all the other apps that we have. For example, I'll be able to sync in properly with my Outlook, my Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and all the other items that have been given access to me. Which means if I download a report, I'll be able to download it on Excel. It will be able to sync my contacts between Outlook and this application. That's going to make it very interactive. So also on this tool, the fundraising and engagement tool, I will be able to create new contacts. Again, having donors is the most important thing for our type of operations. And as long as I'm able to keep my donors in this tool, I will be able to run the operations. As you can see here, we have relationships where we have contacts, we have organizations, and we have households. I'm going to give an explanation of each one of them. So a contact, it's, let's say, myself. I'm Philip. I am a contact at this NPO. I work for an institution called Brightpoint Infotech. So Brightpoint Infotech, if they're an active donor of this organization, then we can have their details here. And then a household is where we have a household of one or two that are donating. So if, let's say, you have a database where you have a man and wife who are donating to a cause, then you can create them as a household. One, you'll be able to track them. And number two, you'll be able to remember important dates. Let's say their anniversaries, you'll be able to send them the happy anniversary cards if they so wish. And you'll be able to track their preferred mode of communication, if it is if it is via email or via SMS. You'll be able to track all this. So let's say we have this organization as it is. We have our active contacts here. What exactly are we saying we have? So, for example, we have Aaron Gonzalez here, and we have their card. So this is what we call a card. And the beauty of Microsoft products, having worked with the CRM, having worked with Business Central, having worked with GP and so on, I can see this GUI, this graphic user interface. It resonates. It's the same. If I open a page in finance and operations, it will be almost be the same. I will be able to interact with the system much more easily than I will be able to interact with a foreign system. So if I open a donor card here, I can see Aaron, and then I can see that the details such as their names, their their surnames, I can see he belongs to a household. So probably this is a family that donates to a cause. And then if I want to see such stuff as job titles, birthdays, I can use this information to make to make informed decisions. For example, if let's say there is a World Accountant Day or something like that, or a World Finance Day, and I want to give and I want to wish a happy World Thanksgiving Day to accountants or stuff like that, I will be able to make that will check all the accountants, all the finance managers, all the senior accountants. It's going to check all their data and then automate the email that I'm going to send to them. Birthdays, the same. I can create a query that will come and check Philip's birthday or everyone's birthday every day. If my birthday is on 10/17, which is today, it will be able to run the query and check today is Philip's birthday, and then it's going to send me an email or an SMS based on the information we have. And then we have the giving levels. Now, this we can have the levels such as big donors, gold donors, platinum donors, such that we'll be able to target them for the campaigns that we want to do. And then, of course, you have my email address. So the email address will be for me to send me information, such as the welcome notes, the birthdays, the anniversaries, the thank you notes. You'll be able to use this information to this advantage. And then coming down here, we can see my details. So you'll be able to see, do I have a recurring gift? And you can see here, I have a recurring gift that it was given last on October 2026, and it was worth $10. So you'll be able to see the details of my recurring gifts. And you can see the details right here. It's a bit slow, so we'll move on. And then we can see other details such as the lifetime giving. So this is the match I've given in my lifetime. And then you can see my household details. We have Aaron Gonzalez. This is me. And then I can see the other details. So this one has been created as a household of one. And then we can have the addresses. If we have, let's say, gifts that we want to send by a package, such as hoodies, flowers, or stuff like that, you can create the address where they will be sent to them. And then here we have a timeline. So what a timeline does is it tracks all the activities that have been done from me to this Dodo. For example, any phone call done, any email sent out, anything done as per communication of this Dodo, it will be stored here, such that if there's any handover between an employee is, let's say, being off-boarded and a new employee is being on-boarded, they will be able to track all the information that has been going out to this sponsor or donor. Then we can have the details. Now, these are summaries. For example, you can see the current year giving. This is how much they've given. Their lifetime. This is how much they've given. Then we have the address details. We can create, let's say, a gala event for a region, let's say in Nairobi, and we want to invite all our donors who are based out here. All we do is create, gather all this info, and then send out an invite saying the venue and the dates and everything else. And then we'll be able to track the changes in the addresses For example, I originated from, let's say, Mombasa, and I came to Nairobi. You'll be able to track all this info. You have the donation information, you have the transactions. So now this one is going to assist the finance department when they are doing their reconciliation. If they are seeing the account has been hit by this amount, they'll be able to track. And you'll even be able to see the courses in which this sponsor is sponsoring. And again, this goes back to the propensity to give. If let's say we want to start a new program, but we are yet to decide because we don't know what type of causes someone like Aaron gives to. Based on the information that we collect here, we'll be able now to attract them to new campaigns, new programs, new activities, and we'll be able to once again make these decisions with informed information. And then if the donor also has some volunteer participation, you'll be able to see the participation. Now, this will be leading it towards the volunteer engagement and volunteer management application. So we'll be able to understand what types of activities does this donor like. In case we want to invite them for more participation activities. I'm just doing a check if we are okay for in case there are any questions or in case there's anything that you want to add on this.
No, I'm all right. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So so we have all our donors. We'll be able to track our donors on this. We'll be able to track our contacts, our households, our organizations.
Philip, you're on mute, Philip.
Thanks, Grish. I don't know what happened there. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. And then we have different we have different areas in this fundraising and engagement. We have the development, we have the fundraising, we have gifts, and we have events that we want to look at. Now, when I come to the fundraising bit, I have a dashboard here. Now, this dashboard will tell me more about the active transactions that are going on. It will give me about all the campaigns. It will give me about all the gifts. It will tell me more about the gifts received. And then it will give me recurring payments coming in and stuff like that. And again, if we are going for, let's say, a presentation, if let's say we are planning for a gala event, you'll be able to grab all this info on the go, such that, see, for example, again, let's say an event such as the general annual campaign. Now, these are campaigns that's going on, and you want to track how it is going. You can drill down and see who are, let's say, our pledges, and we want to track that. We can expand this, and we'll be able to see these are pledges. And this is the revenue, the estimated revenue. So this is the total revenue, and this is the estimated. So if let's say we come to the estimated revenue here, we can go down and drill down and see the information based on, let's say, which campaign is it, how much are the sponsorships, how much are the registrations, for example, like this. Let's look for another way to do this. drill down. So based on this, we will be able to make informed decisions on these campaigns, these galas, these events, even if it's a dinner or a golf charity event or stuff like that. You'll be able to see the details. And then you'll be able to create a list and see your lists. The current campaigns that are going on here are for the general annual campaign, health education, maternal health, and so on. October 2023 events. And if you want to drill down on these events again, you'll be able to click on that, and then you will see the campaign. You'll be able to see the start date, the proposed end date. You'll be able to see any activity, such as data sent out, emails reaching out to guys. You'll be able to see the activities here. You'll be able to see the estimated revenue and the total revenue. Now, this is the estimated revenue that at the end of this campaign, we estimate to have collected 1 million USD. But so far, we've collected 180,934.33. So we will be able to track this, number one, by integrating all this info with our ERP, such that once we receive the funds, it hits the bank account if it is a linkage with our payment gateways. We will be able to link this and then go to our ERP, and then we'll be able to record the revenue here. And then if you want to see the reporting hierarchy of this campaign, you want to see who's managing this, you'll be able to see the details of the appeals, be able to see the performance here, as I was saying. The donations so far are 53. The donations collected are only 447. Registration for this event, we only have 21 registrations, sponsorship sold, products sold, and so on. So we'll be able to track all this information and another information such as the guys who created this. For example, this one was created by my colleague Girish, and you're able to track the hierarchy and the management of this campaign. Other than that, other than these campaigns and the fundraising bits, we can have the gifts. Again, assume you have your meeting, you're going for your meeting that you want to display whatever is going on. You'll be able to show the active transactions that are going on. You'll be able to show the dates that this month we are collecting this much in terms of gifts, such that if you want to reach out to more people, you can see how your campaigns are going. You can see the gifts received. You can see the recent gifts received. You can have new gifts. For example, if you have received your check in mail, or you have received, let's say, a notification, you can create new transactions, enter the details, whom the transaction is from, how much they have given, how much was received, and for the purposes of bank reconciliation, how much has been banked and where it was banked. You'll be able to book all this info. You'll be able to see your payment schedules. Now the payment schedules are the people who give. How much have they promised to give? Is it a recurring gift? Is it a pledge? You'll be able to create all this. You can create a new payment schedule, and you'll be able to process. And then after processing, you've created the gift type. You've said the gift type what it is. It is a recurring donation. You've entered the transactions. You've entered the recurring schedule. For example, I can say Philip will be donating every month or every quarter or every 6 months. After you process this, you'll be able to print a thank you. And based on the campaigns and the communication that I showed earlier on, you can be able to customize all these email templates for thank you and what information to include. Okay. And then now we have our transactions. Again, enter all these transactions. You have the various fields. Yesterday, I remember I had a conversation with someone who was struggling with doing integrations. So based on these fields that we have here, we can leverage these fields to make informed work. Like if let's say I want to create a gift that has that tracks the donor. The donor in turn will have the age, the career they are in, their demographics such as the age, where they live in, what they do, the type of household. I'll be able to collect all this info such that we are able to process information based on information that you already have from the customer. And then other than gifts, of course, we have events. Now, these are events that we create, such as galas, dinners, golf charity events, blood drives, marathons. You can create this, and then you can track how we are doing in terms of collections, sponsorships, the number of tables we are selling, and then track them against different campaigns. And the most important thing is that in life, we work with lessons learned. So what happens is that you can do comparison reports on a similar event that you have done, let's say last year or last month. You can be able to compare what did we do this year that is different from last year, or what can we do that is different, so that we can attract more customers, we can attract more donors, we can attract more sponsors. The power of information is truly within us here. So that is what I want to show you regarding this tool here. So again, once you have this fundraising and engagement tool, you don't need to be doing these monthly reports, running around collecting information from the monitoring and evaluation team, collecting information from the communications team. You will have everything within the same source. And then now, once you link up everything up, we'll go back to where I started before. And I started with the Power BI dashboards, the project, the program impact dashboards, where all this information will be taken and formulated in the template that I showed you, and then you'll be able to do your reports from there. Okay. Anyone with anything that they would like me to repeat before I move on to the next section? I perhaps Remo, Girish, you can let me know if there's anything that someone has said that.
Yes.
Yes.
So there is a question on the chat where Fasil is asking, how can we use this tool to demonstrate to donors and stakeholders that we are effectively and transparently using their funds, like providing them direct access to the performance of their respective funds? Keep in mind that the project data is mainly maintained in Dynamics. So essentially, Fasil here is talking about you're doing your fundraising work perhaps through Dynamics 365 or other tools, but you have the project data sitting perhaps in your ERP. So how do you then create those reports that you can use to showcase how funds you are able to raise are being utilized?
Okay. That I think we can take a one-on-one, and then we'll be able to give you the different options that we have.
But, but in short, I can support there.
Yeah,
so exactly, Fasil, how you've described it. So as you saw earlier, Philip showed you the program impact dashboard, which is a Power BI dashboard, whereby it's actually pulling data from your CRM as well as your ERP to be able to visualize it in a manner to see where have the funds that you raised been utilized. So you could use a Power BI, you could create a Power BI dashboard such as the program impact dashboard. You could also use the dashboards that are out of box here, of course, depending on the level of granularity that you're looking to gain, to be able to see the funds raised. For example, in the page you're seeing under the dashboards, you'll see that you've got gifts by primary designation. So these are funds received by a certain designation. So we know that we have 625,000 under maternal health, 270,000 under Tanzania Health. So now by transposing this data into your ERP system, say you're using Dynamics 365 for ERP, you can then do the processing of these funds and do reporting to show what you received versus how it was utilized. So yes, in short, the platform already takes that into consideration, but depending on the level of granularity that you want to create for your reporting, we could leverage on Power BI to create that view.
Okay. Any
We're
other?
happy to take that further.
Yeah, sure.
There's another question. There are different ways for doing this. Okay, that's actually Girish who has responded. One way is to provide access to BI dashboards and reports that provide relevant information. So fantastic, that has been answered. Fasil, feel free to leave your contacts in the thank you note and we can look at a one-on-one conversation with you. Back to you, Philip.
Thank you, Erimo. Thank you, Girish. So finally, I'd like us to look at a very exciting thing that we are doing now. This is outside fundraising and engagement. So this is a collaboration that we have done previously with Werimo and other folks. And the business scenario here was it's outside this fundraising and engagement. It's about document management. So the scenario we have is that we've got this very large NPO, based here in Nairobi. It's a global NPO. And they came to us with a business scenario that was quite unique, that they have several 40-foot containers worth of documents. So these documents are located here in Nairobi, others are in Spain and in the US. And what they are basically looking for is a digitization program. So we went back to them with a solution. We formulated this. We integrated Azure, the cognitive search, as well as ChatGPT. So what we did is that they scanned the documents. They stored all these documents in a SharePoint environment. And then once we did this, we created this platform for them that you can query any document that you have based on the information that you need. So for instance, we've got the information in SharePoint here. For example, we have, let's say, we have a dummy balance sheet, we have this Power Automate deck, we have an Irish monitoring report, and so on. So within the documents that I've shown you in that Teams or SharePoint environment, we could query any information that we want. For example, from the Irish aid document that I've seen, I can ask this question. Now, this is where now ChatGPT will come in. For example, I can ask this, tell me about Irish aid. And once I click on this, it's going to go back to the documents that I've pointed it to. And then it is going to look for that information on the location that I shared. So it is telling me that Irish Aid is a section of the Irish government that provides funding for development projects and so on. And what it does, the beauty about what it does is it gives me a reference of where it got this information from. So it goes back to SharePoint and then checks the results, and then it displays it to me. Another beauty about this is that we have actually integrated this with Microsoft Teams, that you don't need to log into Edge or Gmail or Google or wherever. You can go to your Teams and then you query the information that you need to that you need to check, and you can do your reports based on this info. Other than this, I can probably go on further and ask ChatGPT, hey, just go back to that SharePoint folder and check for me and provide me information on the Irish aid project summary. So if you're preparing for a meeting, if you're preparing for a call, if you're preparing for a discussion, you can get all this information at a go, instead of going back to the document folder, looking for files, and looking for so on and so forth. You can have all this information here right in front of you. And from the tests we have done, the results of what we are seeing, they are very good. We are able to query this information on PDF documents. We're able to query scanned documents, and the results on Excel documents, they're not as very good, but day after day of training this tool, we're able to improve this. And finally, I can go on and ask, based on these other documents, let's say what is because I have seen what is this Sahakami, what is Sahakami Samach. I can query that as well. And what now the Power BI, the ChatGPT is doing, it's gonna go back to the documents that I have, and then it's gonna query the information that I basically that I've stored, and that will give me information that that I need. So again, these are the fancy things that we are doing with my Microsoft here, and an ongoing partnership that we have. It's very exciting, and we look forward to doing this to because I know based on the NGOs that I've worked with in the past, let's say payments have to be accompanied by requisitions, and requisitions have to accompany a purchase order, and then the receipt note. After the receipt note, you have to get other authorizations of showing if the stuff has been brought and everything else, such that you have files and files and files, and you probably don't have the space to keep all this. So the solutions we give is digitize your operations, scan these documents, upload them to a SharePoint site, and any case you want to download this information. If the donor is asking for your information for this info, based on this tool that we've created with together with my Microsoft here, you'll be able to get the information. And furthermore, you'll be able to get the citation of where we got the information from. Yes, and I think based on my program, based on what I wanted us to see, I wanted us to leave 15 minutes to 20 minutes, so that in case there's anyone with a pressing question, we can have it addressed, or we can have it addressed on a one-on-one. So I think from here, I'll take it back to Leon. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Thank you, Philip. That was a very insightful session. And thank you for allocating time to prepare that presentation. A lot of learning, a lot of knowledge. You showcasing to us some of the products that Microsoft is offering and how the nonprofit ecosystem can actually benefit from such products. So I believe we'll have follow-up discussions with different organizations and how we can transform your business processes and the value that we will be bringing on the table, and how you can also partner together with Microsoft and Brightpoint Infotech to create a success story when it comes to your non-profit organization. So at the end of the day, you're also automating and you're also bringing change within the organization. So, and for everyone else who has been patient during the whole presentation, we really appreciate the time that you and the effort you have put in. And we are looking forward to even furthering this discussion in the next coming days. So feel free to reach out. Tomorrow we're also having a very good. We're also having a very enlightening session. Enlightening sessions starting from 3 p.m. East African time, and basically for tomorrow, what we'll be talking about, we will be for tomorrow. We will be touching key areas within we will have, let me just go through that. So tomorrow we'll have an introduction to Microsoft AI for nonprofits. So watch out for that. Then we'll also have a real world AI user case for nonprofits. So we'll have, this is a real user case on how a customer who is currently consuming AI and some of the changes and some of the transformation has actually brought to the organization. Then we'll also have another session on automating operations using Dynamics 365 Business Central. So that's Microsoft ERP product. That's an end-to-end business management solution that is specifically tailor-made and customized for the nonprofit sector. So please join us for tomorrow's session. I'll also just share a reminder email with the meeting link. If you had not registered for tomorrow's email, then after this session, I'll also do thank you notes to each one of you. Then we can always move this discussion to the next step. So I think we have come to the end of today's session.
Leon, there was a question though.
Okay.
I think Fasil had put his hand up and I see he has put it on the chat saying good to show all these developments, but it would be more interesting if we could also include how you can help us develop a plan for acquiring and adopting as well. That's for you, Leon.
That's a very good question, Fazil. So basically, as a solution partner and a subject matter expert, so the role we play when it comes to transformation is that we sit down with you, we help you build a business case when it comes to your technology roadmap. So this even makes it easier for you to present the same maybe to your directors, to your donors, because this will actually paint a roadmap when it comes to adoption of technology and how tech will benefit your non-profit organization. And we even go ahead and we also help you when it comes to budgeting and creating a proposal so that this can also help you plan internally when it comes to finances and also when it comes to funding such projects. So there's another question from Kevin. So Fasil, what I'll do is that I'll reach out to you, then we can further this discussion so that we can create a business case. You, Brightpoint, and I know Wairimo will also chip in so that you can have this based on your requirements. So that will just paint a picture on the whole adoption processes and also things to do with change management, which is also very critical when it comes to ERP deployment. Then will the recording be available, Kevin? Yes, I'll share with you the link of the recording after this session. That's fine. Let me see, is there any question, anything else I have missed?
Okay, I think that's all from our side. So again, we are very grateful and thank you for allocating time today. And we are looking forward to have you tomorrow for tomorrow's session. So feel free to connect with us and feel free to send those questions through and do enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you are and take care of yourself. So thank you very much for allocating time for today's session.
Seems like there's still one more question from
Okay.
Offense Mafoko. Please, if you can put it on the chat, would be great. I think you raised your hand. So we'll stay on for a few minutes for you to post your question and then we can address it.
And I'll also leave my number and my email address. So I'll also leave Wairimo's and Philip's email address on the chat. So feel free to engage us if you have any questions. So I can
Okay.
see I
think he's okay now. All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye, everybody, and have a good day.
Have a lovely day. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Let's connect tomorrow and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye. Take care.